Welcome to Both Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo, Dr. Shirley and medium Kellee White. Two perspectives, one world. This is Both Sides Now.
Yay! Hi, everybody. I'm spiritual medium Kellee White, and I'm with the fabulous John Williams. Hi, John.
Hey, Kel. How are you doing
Hi.
this wonderful
Well,
Thursday?
it is it's a quite a time we're in. I must sound like a broken record. I say that all the time. It is a quite
Uh,
a time. Well, it's raining here. I'm
mm,
in the middle of somewhere in Wisconsin, and it was pouring today. It was pouring today, so I didn't get a chance to go visit our cows because we have a bunch of cows out there, and it's really fun to take videos of these cows. In fact, I should post some because they're really
yeah.
it's fun to kind of watch.
Well,
Listen, the
don't you
girlfriend
do this for Prajna?
I send them to Prajna every
Yeah.
day. She loves the cow videos. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
when am I going to see my cow videos? Go in the morning. I send them in the afternoon. I send them in the evening. I
Oh,
say to my husband, I got to run. I got to go get, the pictures of the cows. He's like,
yeah.
what? I'm like, oh, yes, I have to.
Oh.
It's very fun, though. That's fun.
Well,
My
everyone's
goodness.
joining us. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Glad that you could join us. Please be sure to share this out and welcome your friends and family.
Yes, yes. Well, what a time we're in,
Mm-hmm.
John. And we
Oh,
did want to talk about yesterday.
yeah. Yeah, I was very emotional yesterday. I don't
Yeah,
know. Let's do a check-in with everyone, seeing how all of our empaths are feeling about
yeah.
yesterday and all of the civil unrest and just the justice that we
The
need.
justice,
Yeah.
the ignorance, the fear factor,
Mhm.
uh, it was rampant in my readings yesterday
Yeah.
and today, actually.
And this has a lot to do with
Mhm.
astrology and the planets in retrograde and everything that's
Mhm.
coming up.
And
And of course.
yes, but
Mhm.
I know that it hit everybody so hard yesterday. It was such
Mhm.
it. I know you got sick from it, John.
I did, and I'm still feeling it today, actually.
Mm,
Horrible
God,
stomach pains and
wow,
yeah, yeah.
it's
Yesterday I
god
was just
awful.
completely emotional and going through, and normally I don't get caught up in the whole media stuff about it, but
Hmm.
yeah, I was just researching stuff, and then, of course, Facebook, everyone's posting everything on Facebook, and,
Yeah.
and I just posted some resources and just this beautiful video of this boy singing that he just wants to live, beautiful black boy singing
Mm,
that he just wants to live, and so tired of all of the, corruption
yeah.
and just disregard for human life based on
Hmm.
skin color. It's sick. It's
Oh, it's sickening.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're beyond that now. I
Yeah.
mean, we just are, and
Well,
so
I'd like to
instead of
say
looking
that we
at
are beyond
ourselves.
it. I'd like
Yeah,
to say we are beyond it, but
yeah.
things are still being
It's
uncovered, right? I mean,
generational, right? It's generational.
the
Yeah.
trauma, it's
Mhm,
so generational. I mean,
mhm,
this is, I was there during the LA riots, and
mhm.
it was so traumatic for me that I moved my family actually to another state to get out of there because I was literally a mile from the LA riots when this happened,
Yeah.
um, over a very similar situation. I mean, it's god awful. Um, and we're going to see things uncovered in
Mhm,
this next month, and it will last for many months.
mhm,
Put your seatbelts on. We have some major situations that are going to
mm.
come up for everybody. And I'm going to talk about these three eclipses. We have
Yeah.
these three eclipses, and if my practice is any indication, what everybody's going to be going through, it's going to loosen up, as Prajna said, everybody's stuff. So you will have to dig deep into whatever traumas that you've had in your life. And
Mhm,
everybody at a certain age will have had traumas. And they
mhm,
are going to come out, come out, come out. That's what's going to happen. They're going to be, so you're going to get triggered by something, and a memory will come up. You'll get triggered by something else, another memory will come up. And the first in the wave, it's three eclipses in what we call a lunar month. So is a very rare event. These three eclipses at one time. The reason
mhm,
it's a rare event, it only happens, I think, 14 times from the year 2000 to the year 2050. And so it's rare. So what does this mean? I'm going to tell you. So the first eclipse, which is June 5th, that's like right around the corner. It's
yeah.
right around the corner. And this one is in Sagittarius. And these three eclipses that I'm going to talk about, they actually go back 2 years, and they all connect. These three, the two coming up in November and December, the one that we had, the two we had last year, December 25th, and then January 10th of this year, and then going back to July 13th of 2018. So all of these are intersection points. So as I'm telling you this, I want everybody to think about where they were on July 13th in particular of 2018. So you may not remember the exact date, but if you think, where was I in July of 2018? I actually know exactly where I was on July 13th, 2018, because it was my mother's memorial, and my life
Wow.
changed dramatically.
Yeah.
So I know exactly. I mean, why pinpoint that day? Because that was the day
Yeah.
of a very powerful eclipse.
Mm.
And ironically, my mom was born with a powerful eclipse. It would have taken an eclipse to take her out. I had to
Wow.
throw that in. Anyway, so the first eclipse coming up is June 5th.
Mhm.
And this is a lunar eclipse, and it's a full moon lunar eclipse.
And June 5th is next Friday.
Yes.
Mhm.
And let me tell you what, this is impulsive, and it's angry, and it's squaring Mars, and
Yeah.
also it's during the Venus retrograde. So this is going to be about relationships. So if you're in a good relationship, you know what? It'll be tested and probably made stronger. If you're in a weak relationship, woe be. Um,
Mhm.
You'll have a lot of things to deal with. You'll have a lot of things to deal with because this is the time during this retrograde. It brings things up like from the past, things
Mhm.
that maybe you didn't deal with, things that you have to deal with. Old situations may come in to give you an opportunity to yes or no. Do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? But everything is going to require patience, a lot of patience, a lot of unconditional love, a lot of forgiveness. If you can move into that, okay? It's going to be a very trying time. Um, it's going to be a time where there's no more procrastination. You won't
Yeah.
be able to procrastinate on anything. It's actually time to clear the air. So let's say you've had these family secrets or these, I don't know, done something that, whatever. This kind of stuff is going to come out,
Mhm.
and if you're, clean as a whistle, then you're just fine.
Some of them are.
Oh my God, but it will shake up everybody. Everybody will be shook. So the
Mhm.
second one is June 21st. And this eclipse, this is very interesting to me because it goes to the Cancer Capricorn axis that was from this year and last year.
Mm.
The same eclipse energy. So you know how in December of Christmas of last year and January 10th of this year, what kind of change did we see? Well, let's think about COVID, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've got the very similar type of energy, but this one, it's in Cancer and it's in Capricorn. What's important about this is its family and its responsibility. It may bring unexpected opportunities. So there'll be a lot of change. It's
Mm.
going to cause an imbalance, and you'll have to choose. Is it family? Is it work? It's going to be that type of a deep uh, choice for your soul to
Mm.
learn and grow from. Okay.
Mhm.
But the final eclipse is July 5th, the final eclipse until we get till November and December of
How
this year.
interesting. July
But
5th, the day
July,
after
day
Independence.
after, right. And it'll be really felt in India. I think it's on July 4th
Wow.
there.
Mm.
And it's the last of this type of Cancer Capricorn eclipse until
Mhm.
the year 2027. So this series of them, this is where there's a priority shift. So the first eclipse is going to come on with a punch. The
Mhm.
second eclipse is going to do a double punch. And by the time you get to the third eclipse, you're going to be like, okay, uncle, I've
So
had enough.
is it partial lunar, then
And it's
lunar,
a lunar. It's a lunar
and then
eclipse. Yeah.
a solar? Is there a
A
solar?
lunar, and then a solar is the
Yeah.
21st of June. And then we have a lunar
Okay.
with that one.
Wow.
And it's your goals will have shifted. So, in a sense, all of these they are really as difficult as it's going to be, it always will bring you to a better place. Because
Yeah, I was
why? Always, because your soul comes to grow.
I
And
always look
that,
at eclipse as being a new chapter, like a new
oh,
chapter in your book.
And think of this as the 1, 2, 3 punch new chapter, you know?
Or it's like a
You,
small chapter and you're jumping right into the next chapter.
yes, and it'll be jump, and then it'll be nup, and then up, and you're gonna go, oh, what happened? You know, like, and you'll remember this period of time. So it's
Mhm.
gonna be a very, very powerful time. So anyway, and we'll talk more, like on Monday's show, go into
Yeah.
a little more depth. And also, I just want to remind everybody, we have a Mercury in retrograde mid-June. I think it's around the
Mm.
18th. I think because there's so many that planets, we also have 4 other planets in retrograde right now,
Mhm.
that it's so intense that I think, where do I want to spend my energy?
Right.
Talking about all of this. Well, so I do want to talk about one thing or 2 things
Mhm.
that happened, which I think is really interesting. And then we're going to answer questions. Um, since I was a little girl, I would have these prophetic dreams. And I would tell my mom, and she would say, "Oh, make sure you tell me." And sometimes I'd write them down. And so, before Katrina, about 6 months before Katrina, Hurricane Katrina, I had a dream that Louisiana and Alabama were wiped off the map, just wiped off the map, and water was everywhere. And I said to my mom, "What does this mean?" I mean, I knew it had to mean something. I
Mhm.
just didn't know. And then, of course, 6 months later, Katrina came and pretty much did that, for a long period of time.
Mm.
So, this dream I had a few days ago, and I wanted to share this because it means something.
And you're really good
Um,
at interpreting dreams.
Thank you, John. I
Yeah.
am. I've spent a lot
Mm.
of time interpreting dreams. I think
Mhm.
dreams give us messages. Some
Yeah.
dreams people will be visitations from their loved ones, especially now with the veil so thin.
Mhm.
And they're all wanting to show their support. So you will have dreams of visitations, which is great. I love those. I had one with my mom last night.
Mhm.
She's very active. And didn't see her for 2 years. And now it's like I see her all the time, which is really great. So if you just wait long enough, patience is everything. So anyway, and then sometimes you'll have dreams that you'll think, is this a dream? Or is this something that will happen?
Mhm.
And sometimes they're, really clear lucid dreams. This was a very clear, lucid, prophetic, I believe, dream. And this was what it was. I was standing somewhere, and there were 3 buildings. One was, say, 20 feet. The next building was, say, 40 feet. And the next building was, say, 60 feet. I mean, I'm just guesstimating. And I was looking at these. And in my hand were 4 golden tickets, and they were Disneyland tickets,
Mm.
and in like royal blue, my name was, on this ticket, on all 4 of them, and I could give them to certain people.
Oh, wow.
And it was, I've always called this experience with COVID and
You
this
have.
dimension, an e-ticket ride in
Mhm.
Disneyland. We used to have this e-tickets,
Mhm.
it was meant like the Matterhorn or something, some crazy ass ride. And anyway, I'm holding these 4 tickets, these 4 golden tickets, and I'm just like, whoa. And it's because I really wanted to be here during this time, like
Mhm.
everybody else, actually.
Mhm. Mhm.
But anyway, I look up at the first building and I see these young men between the ages of 18 and 23, possibly 24, possibly, but mostly 18 to 23. A lot of 19-year-olds I saw in this. And I see a bunch of them, tons of them, jump off the 20-foot building. And
Wow.
I'm watching this in horror, thinking, oh my God, they're going to die. And they fall. And many of them get up. Actually, most of them, they hurt themselves and they were, banged up, but they got up. Then I turn and I see the second building, which is about 40 feet. And I see another tons and tons of young men between the ages of 18 and 23, 24 jump off. And now I'm watching this in horror. And they fall. Some 50% died, 50% they were knocked out, but they were
Mm.
never the same.
Mhm.
And then I see the 60-foot building,
Mm.
and I see the same, different group of guys, but the same between the ages of 18 and 23 jump off the building, and in horror, I'm watching this, and they die, and woke me up right away. So what does this mean? I think that parents of between the ages of 18 and 23, 24, and 25, I want you all to know something with boys. Their brains don't develop till they're 25. So they will do dumb things. Should I repeat that? Their brains don't develop and psychologically, they're not grounded yet until they're 25. And frankly, years after that. But 25 is when their brain gets developed fully. Having said that, I think that they're going to do some young men, just like during Vietnam. So I don't know if you were probably too young to remember Vietnam, John, but
Mhm.
I was. I remember it very well. And
Mm.
what happened is these young men went to war. They came back. If they came back very affected, very traumatized,
Mhm.
and some of them didn't make it back. Many didn't make it back. And that generation would be in their what 70s, 60s, late 60s, and 70s and 80s now, right? About that period of time, 70s in particular. So those people that are parents during that time, that are 70 now, they could look back and they'll know what I'm talking about in this period of time during Vietnam. And I think with COVID, and I think people, young kids that are going out and having fun and going out and carrying on during this time,
Mhm.
there's going to be a loss of males of that generation going forward. That's what I think it means.
Mhm.
It was, yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, any thoughts on that? Let me know. But that's what I think. What it
Yeah,
was.
I'll let you know if any of the come in the comments as well. We're watching the
Mhm.
comments. We will be opening up for calls soon. We're doing an Ask Me Anything about spirituality today, so we'll be doing well, we'll be taking your questions, but we're trying to focus them on general, broad questions about
Mhm.
spirituality and then open it up for readings for specific cases in regard
Exactly.
to your specific situation. So,
Exactly. And the
we
last thing I
hope
want to talk
you-
about
yeah.
is I want everybody to pay attention to totems. So I had a great experience the other day. I was having a session with Prajna, the healer, who's phenomenal. And
Mhm.
I was about to have a session with her at 7:30 my time. And 10 minutes before, out of the blue, we had a sudden rainstorm. Just came out of the blue, then it disappeared. And then right in front of our home was this beautiful rainbow. Such a great sign. It just meant so much to me.
Wow.
But I also have to tell you what happened that very day. So this would have been 2 days ago. I was driving in the country to take my dog to the park with my mask, and when I was after I dropped him off, I was coming back on these, country roads, and I saw this animal. I said, "What in the world is that?" And it climbed into this like barn thing. It stared at me, looked at me in the eyes. And I was like, "Whoa, that's an odd thing." It kind of looked like a beaver or something. I didn't know what it was, and then it went into this shack kind of thing. I watched it, and it
Mhm.
literally looked at me, and then kind of went, "Hmm," and then jumped into this shack. So what in the world is that? So right then, my sister called and she said, what are you doing?" And I said, "You're just never going to believe this. I saw this thing." She said, "Kellee, it had to have been a badger." She said, "Because you're in Wisconsin." And I'm like, "A badger? What is a badger?" Honestly, didn't have a clue. So she sent me a picture of it, and I'm like, "Oh my God, that was it. It was a badger." So, okay, that's
Very
one thing.
scary. Yeah.
That's one thing. But then what happened is last night I have this dream that this badger uh, is somehow my husband lets his badger in the house, and the badger comes in and is trying to get my attention, and I'm like, whoa, 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 trying
Wow.
to scream, there's a badger, and it was so big he just had to have my attention. So I looked up badger totem,
Yeah.
and badger totem is storytelling and prophecy. I thought that was so great, but it means accepting a new challenge. Accepting a new challenge. Don't be shy. I don't think I've ever been
Uh-huh.
accused of that.
No, no.
And go for it. So I thought that was a great. So I want everybody to pay attention to all of a sudden this burst of nature that comes in your dream or you see while you're out and about, like the birds, and look specifically for each bird that you see. If you're out there birding, you find a specific bird and look that up too. That will have great meaning to your life.
Yeah. Well, Susie is saying, as a mother of a 25-year-old and a 17-year-old twins, all boys, I do worry about them. You are so right on about their brain development. Oh my god.
So, Susie, what you want to do is with that. So, I'm really speaking to those parents, and you're one of them. Then, make sure you talk to them deeply. deeply. These kids, they're different, and they did want to be. I don't mean your kids in general, although they may be.
Mhm.
The kids that wanted to be here really wanted to be here, but they forget the spiritual side because they're kids and they're teenagers and that's what kids do. Except this time, it really there are consequences.
Mm.
So,
It's interesting when you're talking about the building and you're talking about the different sizes of the buildings. It's almost
mhm.
like people taking a leap, you know? Are they taking a leap of faith? Are they taking a leap of, like jumping into, like, I think I saw a comment earlier saying about jumping into the abyss. Like, yeah, Angie was saying, just want to quit my job, jump into the abyss. She's 23 years old. And, so, I
Maybe
mean, we'll get to
it
the
could
personal
be.
question, shortly, and especially if you want to call in,
Well,
Angie.
well,
But
let me just, Angie, I see that. I so want to quit my job and jump to the abyss. And you're a female because your name's Angie, so
mhm,
I'm assuming you're a female.
mhm,
I'm not going to assume anything, I suppose, these days. But I don't think, I think for you, if you want to quit your job and get in and jump and take a leap of faith, these eclipses are going to probably make that happen for you.
mhm,
Think about what your soul really wanted to do,
yeah,
okay? Because this is going to be a time where everybody's going to be realigning themselves,
mhm,
reconnecting to their soul purpose. And if your soul purpose, if you hate your job, then please think about what else you want to do. You want to be creative? You want to do this? Start thinking. It's funny how the universe opens up.
mm.
Don't come
And
out of fear.
there's a lot of, I would say, introspection, a lot of digging, a lot of soul searching
Yeah,
going on.
a lot.
And I think, so much of what the COVID situation has caused has really amplified that to,
Yeah.
a certain degree where, and I'm wondering what people do with what it is they find while they are searching, while
I
they are
mean,
digging deep. Like,
well, it's a
how
good
do they
question.
how do they, process it? Because it might be positive, it might be negative in the
Mhm.
sense of the perception of it, right?
Well, a great way to process it is to find a therapist that's open spiritually,
Mhm,
that's really a good therapist.
mhm.
That's a great way to start the process.
Yeah,
At least start the uncovering. There's great Carrie Gonia does family constellation
yeah,
therapy.
mhm,
She's been on our show a couple of times, or what am I saying, 4 or 5 times.
right,
Look her up at any of the shows. She helps unkink family traumas. And let me tell you what, these eclipses are going to bring out family secrets, family traumas. You don't even know that you may have been carrying your family system and all the drama and all the crap that went into this, the secrets, the this and that. You've been carrying that, and I think this generation is ready to go. I've had enough. I'm not
yeah,
going to participate anymore in the bullshit. That's what I
yeah,
think.
most definitely, and we were talking earlier about how this experience with George Floyd, right, is affecting us in the
Oh,
way that, different generations all being affected differently, obviously, as well, but then also just the racism and the component linked to generational trauma.
absolutely, John.
Yeah.
And if this doesn't get you to the core, I don't know really what does. Each time
Yeah.
we have to have a new situation to wake us up again. Please,
Mhm.
everybody, just wake up. But it's easier said than done. That's that generational racism, John. You're
Mhm.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
It goes so far back. I mean, this United States was already divided
Mhm.
before, with the Civil
Well,
War, and I actually think that these energies are going to bring in civil war, and
and add
that's kind of what's happening.
add up all of the stay-at-home orders, and then the fact
Yeah.
that you're going to go out and protest. Can you imagine how much energy you have to unleash?
Wow, I never thought about that.
Mhm. I'm just thinking about that and
Wow.
looking at the ages of the people who are out there doing it in all these
Mhm.
these protest videos, which I don't tend to consume much of, but I will just out of curiosity look just for that perspective, you know what I mean? Because I'm
Sure.
just and then there's a lot of younger people that are, that are doing the protests and
Wow.
destroying the cop cars and
Wow.
everything else that's going on. And it's
Mhm.
interesting because you're getting a lot of the officials, like for instance, the mayor of LA, the supervisors of LA here in Los Angeles, are saying that was an injustice. It was murder.
Yeah. Oh,
These
for sure.
officers need to be held accountable.
Mhm.
Kamala Harris saying the same thing. We don't get political in the show, but I'm just saying in examples of what's happening, they're actually saying you're right to be feeling this grief. You're right to be
Right.
feeling this rage. You're right to be feeling, they just want you to protest safely.
If that,
Yes.
and maybe that's the 3 buildings that I saw. I don't
Right.
know.
That's what I'm saying. There's so much
Uh,
unrest that's
yeah.
happening, unearthing that's happening, that's bringing
So
so much
much
to the
unearthing.
surface. Yeah.
Well, and speaking of unearthing, I really think civil war comes from this. I think that earthquakes,
Mhm.
because this energy, as you said, people have been home. They have the energy now,
They do.
and
And they're,
intense.
it's like holding kids inside for a long time and you finally let them out
Ugh,
for recess.
yes,
What
yeah,
happens?
right on.
What
Yes,
happens? So we've
yes.
got a ton of questions
All
coming
right,
in. So
let's
let's get
go.
to
Let's
them,
get
and
going.
we're going to start with Sam saying, "I'm in the younger generation. I have heard multiple people in my generation say we're going to have to wait for this old generation to just die because we are so emotionally exhausted from all the hate and narrow-minded selves."
Oh,
Mm,
Sam, right on, honey. What can I say? I bow to that. I
mhm,
think that's probably accurate. These people with these antiquated belief systems, but you would be, Sam, one of the ones, the younger ones that would come along and help be here in this dimension at this time
mhm.
to help usher in, I would say, peace and love and the real thing. You wanted to be here for this dramatic events that are going to happen here. But you're absolutely right. I'm sure that your generation thinks that.
And that's a great
Mm,
topic for us to cover in future shows. We've done it in the past with Christy Reeves and
yeah.
various people about the indigo children, the crystalline children, the rainbows, uh, and
Hmm.
what that vibration carries. Those are advanced souls coming into this particular time on Earth, but very advanced souls. Some not even from this planet. To really
Well,
be out
let me
there.
just speak on that just for a minute
Yeah,
because I'm
sure.
one of the original indigos.
Yeah.
I'm an indigo. My
I would
father
even
was an
say
indigo.
Blu-ray. I would say
Par-
even Blu-ray. I would say even before Indigo, you're Blu-ray. I would
oh,
look
I
into
never even heard of that.
yeah. Mhm.
I just know indigo for
Yeah.
sure. And indigos are
Mhm.
the ones we were like, rules? What are you talking about? And my father was a jazz musician, and I know he was probably the original seed of the indigos. I mean, indigos, some people call them right brain, but they're about my age and younger.
Mhm.
Younger, the indigos. We were the one that broke all the rules. That we didn't fit in the box of school. Like my mom used to say, Kelly, look, here's the box. Stay in the box. I'm like, okay, but I don't see a box.
Mhm.
That's an indigo.
Mhm.
We love bright colors. We love, it's a whole thing here. And then the crystals are sensitive, much more
Mhm.
sensitive than indigos. Indigos are fighters. We're fighters.
Mhm.
We
Rep
don't care. We are just fighters, rebels. Yeah,
Yes.
with a cause or without
Yeah.
a cause. It's
Yes.
better to have a cause. And the crystal children are amazing. Well, you know what, John? Well, we should redo a new show with
Yeah.
that.
Let's
Make a
do that.
note if you could,
I
because I
will.
think that's a great idea with these new babies that are coming in.
Yeah.
These like I think they're even further than rainbow. Some of them are called
Mhm.
rainbow
Mhm. Mhm.
children, but there's got to be a whole new ball game with the new
Yeah.
ones too, which I should know, but since I have two baby grandchildren, I really should.
And
We'll
for
have
those
to.
who are interested, you can always go to our YouTube archive, and
Hmm.
we have so many shows that we've covered over the years. I mean, we've been
Yeah,
doing this show for about 5 years, I think,
5 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's really growing
Hmm.
now. I mean, it's just of all times, it's like desperately needed now, right? I mean, even back
Yep.
then it was too, but I mean, it's really growing now.
Yeah.
But I'm just letting you know that there's so many archived shows, and what I was referring to earlier was the Crystal, Rainbow, and Indigo children, as Kelly was just talking about on our YouTube with Christy Reeves.
Hmm.
There's a video about that, and also she's done some amazing work covering
Yeah,
those
she really
children.
has. In fact, maybe you'll find
Yeah,
that
I'll
and
find
put
that and
that
I'll
up.
put that in the group, the link, but
Yeah,
you
it's a
can go
good
to
one.
YouTube and check that out. We've also done shows on anger. We've done shows, I mean, so many different shows. In fact, we have another show that we're
Oh
going
yeah.
to revisit in June, on the 15th of June, about Life Between Lives. And that show was recorded about 4 years ago. We're visiting part 3. So, yeah, so that's going to be one of our
That's
Monday
gonna
shows.
be really
Amazing.
good.
Linda Gabriel. Yeah, really.
Linda Gabriel, and what's his name? He passed away. I have his book. Oh, I have
Oh,
it. Never mind.
yes. Michael Newton.
Michael Newton. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, Michael Newton.
really, really good. He was a psychologist in LA. I believe he was in LA, but he was a psychologist.
Yeah.
And
So
so,
we have
and
a
he,
question. Coming
Okay.
about children. So Jackie is saying, I have a 16-year-old son who is an empath. Years ago, you suggested he get somatic work for trauma. He's now getting that. I hope to call for insights on his sole purpose.
Okay, great, Jackie.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, we'll be happy to take your call. Great. I'm glad that I said that. And somatic work is Shirley's specialty, but it's somatic means of the
Mhm.
body, and it's when traumas have been, stuck not just on the physical body, but after working with trauma with prajna, it gets stuck on the subtle bodies, and then after working with Carrie, it's this family dynamic that carries all this in.
Mm.
So all this work, there are many points of entry. Mine happens to be
Yeah.
mediumship and psychology, but and Prajna is a healer, and Shirley does somatic work and therapy.
Yeah.
So everybody, and Carrie does the family constellation. So everybody's got a different point of view or point into the soul.
And speaking of your point of view and your entry into all of this, we've got a medium summit coming up that Kelly's a part of.
I got invited to the party.
Yeah.
I'm in the bottom corner, but I am happy to be there. And I'm with Janelle. Janelle's a wonderful medium from Australia.
Yep.
Janelle and I got invited at the last minute, but we're thrilled to be there.
Yeah, so we see James and Mavis, and who else do
All
we see?
my friends, and there's Tony
Yeah.
Stockwell and Gordon Smith and
Yeah.
Paul Jacobs, who I got to spend a week with all of them, and I know James very well, but and Mavis I know very well, and Lynn Probert, one of my dear friends.
Mhm.
So, and Lauren Rainbow is a friend of Prajna's, and I
Yeah.
know Michael
Lauren.
Mayo. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think who else. So it's going to be really interesting, and I believe this is coming up. Oh, June 25th to the 29th.
Yeah.
And I have a meeting to discuss what I'm going to be teaching, but I have a feeling that it's spirituality, mediumship, and psychotherapy. And how does mediumship combine with psychology?
Perfect. Both
Because
sides.
it's both sides, and because that works the best for me, I think.
Yeah. So we're going to open up the calls for personal questions and try to do as many comments as I can to cover the general.
Okay.
But you also can call in with a general question as well.
Mhm.
I'm going to put up the number for everyone to call in if they are interested. And so that phone number is coming up right now. It's 213 893 4464. Again, 213 893 4464. Call in with your question, comment, or story. All right, so let's get back to our comments. And so I think we had a comment come in earlier that was asking about the brain development of females, because you were mentioning males. So
Yeah.
then what about females?
Earlier, much earlier, not
Ah,
20, 21, 22,
he has a
earlier.
16-year-old daughter. Okay.
Yeah, or earlier. I'm going to say 2 or 3 years before the male brain.
So that would be what age?
Probably 20, 21, 22,
Okay.
something like that. But if you notice, girls mature traditionally earlier than males. Males are just a little slower with that, with
Uh-huh.
getting their brains developed. Because I'll tell you why. They're working on other things. They've got their souls are aligned with doing different things. So
Mhm.
it's just a brain thing and a soul
Mhm.
thing.
So then Margaret is saying, I did a meditation this morning to connect with Ascended Master Serapis
Ooh.
Bey, and he made me
Ooh.
look at something that happened in the past I had buried really deep. I really have been
Oh,
working the last year to clear and let go of old stuff. I hadn't thought of this in a long time. So I'd say it's already started for me, the shakeup you were talking about.
Margaret, I got chills on that. I love Sarah Bay.
Mhm.
He's an ascended master, and we'll do a show on ascended masters too. We'll
Okay.
make a note of that. You know what, John?
Yep,
We
I'm
should
making
do
notes
that
as we go along.
maybe in our next week's show or something. I think it's really important. It's really, I'll tell you a wild story, because I've got the Badger totem of storytelling.
Right.
But the other day I was taking a video. It was Sunday morning. It was a beautiful Sunday morning. I'm taking a video of the cows for Prajna, and I'm like, "Oh, Prajna, look at these cows. They're all huddled in a herd, like huddled together, like like a football team almost. They were like huddled. So what's going on with that?" And I'm talking to her in this video. She's in India asleep, and I'm just
Mhm.
talking away. And then all of a sudden I hear these gunshots on the farm. I'm like, what the what? I was so that warrior in me came right out. I was so pissed off. And
Yeah.
I don't know what they were out there shooting. I have no idea, but it's why the cows were so scared and huddled in a thing.
Mhm. Oh.
So I I would have never sent that to Prajna because I know how sensitive she is. And for some reason, I just kept hearing, no, you got to send this, you've got to send this. So I send this video to her, and I literally was like, why am I hitting this button? And it's not because I'm passive aggressive. Like, why am I sending this?
Yeah.
So we talked about it. She got it. It shook her to her core. But here's what
Mm.
happened, Margaret, and this is to your point.
Mm-hmm.
She said it brought up an issue she had when she was 10 that was very, very severe and that she hadn't looked at in forever. So she actually said, thank you for bringing that up. And I didn't know why I had to send it. It's so not like me. I never would do harm to anybody.
Sure.
So anyway, yeah, I think that
So,
you will get messages the way you're supposed to. And if you're supposed to look at something, some weird thing will occur, especially nowadays.
so
Barb.
in regards to that, then, so she's unearthing deeper things that might be at the root.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that was.
Yes, you would
Mhm.
be unearthing things to look at it, to either forgive, to understand how
Mhm.
where it brought you to where you are now,
Yes.
to let go
Keyword,
of
where you are
it.
now. Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So we
Okay.
hold on to traumas that
Yeah.
then we disassociate, we leave our body, we try to forget the traumas, but in actuality, the subtle bodies never forget,
Yeah.
never.
Exactly. It's all stored
So
in the body.
it's all
And
stored.
mhm. Yeah. So Barb is saying, do you have helpful ideas on how to clear my energy so I can be more connected spiritually? Recommended meditations, preferably guided. I can read a book, but attempts to follow the process has my mind going off into left field. It's very frustrating.
Oh, Barb,
Mm.
I understand very much. Yeah, the first thing to clear energy that I always suggest is take your shoes out, go step on grass, go sit in nature, but
Mm.
barefoot if you can.
Earthing is a
Earthing,
great
get
thing.
real and start talking to your guides. You
Mhm.
may think, well, who's my guide? Don't be left brain like Shirley. Just say, hey, John, hey, Pete, hey, Mary, whatever. Just start talking to them, and you'll start say, guides, are you around? And they'll start coming into they're already there anyway.
Mhm.
Look at flowers, especially with you, Barb. I keep hearing flowers, and I just saw my flowers back there, and I just heard flowers for you. And just start getting as grounded as you can. And then James Van Prague has great guided
He does.
meditations
Mhm.
online on his school, but online you can get them for free. And
Mhm.
I think he has them on his site, John, doesn't he?
He does. So if you go to JVP School of Mystical Arts, JVP School of Mystical Arts, and you can use the keyword search there for whatever it is that you are interested in learning about, and you will find the right course for your soul. Is how I
But
always.
and for
Yeah.
guided meditations, you would just
Mhm.
put guided meditation or
Meditation. There's a whole section for meditation. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
guided meditations are the best because they give you left brain people and right brain people a
Mhm.
place to go.
Just
A
wanna do
place
it
to go.
with someone you trust, someone that you feel, yeah, that you feel connected to.
Yeah.
You usually can feel it by the person's voice. The voice will tell you so much in
Yeah.
if you're comfortable or not with proceeding forward.
Well, what about that meditation we just did on Monday's show with
Yes, that was
Prajna?
beautiful, Kelly.
Oh, if you
Yes.
get a chance, if you haven't listened to that,
Mhm.
whoa, that is a great meditation.
And that's available in our archives also on YouTube and
Mhm.
on Facebook. If you just go to our page, Both Sides Now, and click on the videos tab, you'll see all the archived videos there. I
Yeah.
think that meditation starts about 15 minutes into the show, I
Okay.
think. I know
Great.
it lasts 15 minutes. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful meditation. All right, we've got several calls. I want to get to
Okay.
them. Sorry for keeping them holding. We got area code 503 on the line with us. Can we have your name, please, and where you're calling from?
Hello.
Hi
Hi.
there.
Hi. I wasn't sure you were talking to me. My name is Dawn, and I'm calling from Oregon.
Hi, Don.
And
Hi, Don.
hi.
What's
Hello.
your birth
I'm
date?
wondering how 1/21/62.
Mm,
Oh my goodness. Okay. So you are a six of diamonds, and a six of diamonds comes in for fairness and balance, and the worst thing ever, which is fear of abandonment.
mm,
And they're the kindest people, and they have a strong attitude about life. And my daughter's a six of diamonds. I love them.
oh,
They're wonderful. They're kind. They usually are very kind. So, what is your question?
Well, so I was wondering who's around me and also about my purpose.
Well, you've got a grandmother that's right around you, right there. And your purpose is you come in for balance in this life, and I would say financial balance. So somebody with this type of energy has got to be here to help others as well. And you also come in to learn everything you can about yourself. So what do you currently do? Because there's going to be a major change coming up anyway. And you have not missed the boat, okay? You have not missed it yet. They're telling me you have to be in nature for sure. Like you've got you're are you an empath? I mean, there's empathic energy there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So Oregon's probably a good place for you.
Um, Oh, it's so beautiful here. Yeah. I'm not working per se. I have diabetes, ulcerative colitis, so there's been a great deal of my time over the past 15 years looking how to heal my body, and I always think about ways to help others,
Yeah,
heal as well.
you might want to consider having a session with Prajna. She is, an
Mhm.
extraordinary healer,
Mhm.
and you can ask her any of those questions. In fact, we should have her back. Well, we will have her back on. There's no doubt about that.
There's some
But
information.
I
Yeah.
was talking to her today in India about diet and how special diet is, and how you
Mhm.
really, how this soul, this is for everybody right now. I'm not just speaking for myself, but the diet has to be watched because the energies that are coming in are so sensitive. And Dawn, you come in with very sensitive energies, and there's a
Mhm.
mother's side, grandmother's father's side actually, and then a grandfather. Did your father pass too? Because there's a couple of men over there on that side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my father in 2017 and mom in
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah, especially your dad. Really got your dad there. Um, and they're telling me that, how special you are, and that you must be very musical also, because there's the music playing behind on that side, on your dad's side.
Mm. Now,
Oh,
Dawn,
interesting.
are you in our Both Sides Now support group?
Um, I'm Yes, I am.
Okay,
Yes.
great. Okay, just want to make sure of that
Yeah.
because we have a lot of people who are offering you
Mhm.
support and
And I would
go.
consider have a session with Prajna. I think it
Mhm.
would actually help so much. Her fees are very reasonable, too
Mhm.
reasonable if you ask me.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
she's really amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for
I
calling,
didn't
Dawn.
yet. I remember about Carrie. I was curious. Is Carrie going to create a online, like, Facebook group or something? It seemed like
Okay.
I heard something about her doing a group.
You heard correctly,
You're
and
correct. We're
thank you
waiting.
very much, because I keep saying I'm going to send her a text. I'm going to send her a text the moment I'm off this to say, when are you doing this? Carrie Gania is supposed to do a big Facebook for all of us, with really, really good price for everybody to do this family constellation. And it's normally done in a group anyway. So she was looking for a date. Okay, the time's
Yeah.
up. She needs to do it now. I just have to kick her in the ass.
She's very, very busy. But we'll definitely reach
Yeah,
out to her and find out when she's going to be
yeah.
available to do that. And
Thanks, Don. I
but,
really appreciate that.
yes, yes. Thanks for bringing
All
that
right.
back to
Well,
our
thank
attention.
you.
You
Thank
bet. Thanks
you.
for calling.
Both of you as well.
Thank you. You take
Thanks.
care.
Mm,
Feel better. Okay.
You too.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Okay, so let's move on to our next caller. Let me take down some information here so it's not overwhelming people. Okay, so once again, Prajna's website is up there. So it's prajnaavalon.com, and email is prajna@prajnaavalon.com. And you can go on our Monday show when we had Prajna on doing the guided healing
Mhm.
and get to know Prajna. She's amazing.
She's
Kellee
amazing.
has had a few sessions with her, Shirley, as well, and I've had one, and
Mhm.
she's just incredible. And actually,
Mhm.
several members of our community have as well. So if you like to type in your experience with Prajna, please do. She's joining our team, so we're happy, so
She's
happy to
joining our
have her.
team, and Carrie
Yeah.
Gagne is great too.
Yes,
So,
Carrie too. Yeah,
mhm.
and we will talk to Carrie and find out when she can do that
Yeah.
family constellation healing circle for us. That'd be awesome. Okay, so let's go to our next caller. It looks like we have area code 530 this time. Area code 530. Can we have your name, please? Is this Celeste?
This is Celeste.
Hi,
I'm
Celeste.
5 Club.
Five
How are you, Kaylee? How's you, John?
Five
I,
Before we
clubs.
get any further, Prajna's meditation was so awesome and so healing for myself. I've done it 2 more times since, and it just gets better and better.
wow.
She's
Oh,
amazing. I love
she's
her.
amazing. Thank you for. I'll make sure she knows this.
Yeah.
great. She
Yeah,
was
it was,
gonna. It's so
oh,
early in the morning. She
I
was gonna
know it.
try to listen.
And then we all should know it. Anyway, I'm a 5 of clubs. I'm 429, 1956.
Yes, you are.
Um,
Oh, 56. Okay. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was around. And when somebody made the comment about, how people are feeling about the older generation, I recall feeling not that they would die, but similar things in the 60s, late 60s and 70s during the Vietnam War. That movement of peace, although a very turbulent time, but
Right.
it was kind of a similar attitude, but maybe growth has happened now.
I don't know. I'd like to say so, but you're absolutely. I'm a year younger than you are, and I remember that exact same thing. So,
Mm-hmm. Right,
yeah.
that freedom and the loving of everybody. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area,
Oh,
so we didn't have the Compton things going on. We had enough,
Yeah.
but and we were at the tail end of that. But at the same time, it was
Mhm.
really interesting energy. So I kind of have a heart thing for the Vietnam War.
Yeah, me too.
That I've taken on, I guess. But anyway, I've been doing a lot of this similar work that you said coming up. I've been kind of doing that heavily for the last 3 years. And I know I have a lot of spirit and a lot of guides and things around me, but I'm wondering who you're picking up on, if anybody.
Well, you have a father around you, Celeste. You have a father around you,
That's me.
and
Yeah, I do feel
he's
that.
very, very present. And my energy wants to go down with him, with his energy. This is not the kind of thing that he would normally do, ever. He's more of a, I want to say a builder or something. This is not his thing, but he's around you, and this is a man that is when he says he gives you his word, he gives you his word. Oh, that's it.
And what is it that he's doing that he's not, that he never would have done? I misunderstood something.
Meaning that he would not normally. This is not the kind of thing he would just come through. This is not his thing. This spirituality kind of thing is not really his thing. That's what I meant by that.
Oh, okay.
Some people, some spirits on the other side are like, woohoo, and he's more like more cautious. I would say he's more cautious of a character, and a character. I get a character from this one, but but he's and do get he's got a fun, loving sense of humor, and this would have been the kind of thing he would have said, "Oh, no, 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 not me. You go, you do it. I don't want to do it." I'm more on the sidelines that way. And anyway, but
well, I know he didn't when I had heavy anxiety years and years ago. He did not understand it whatsoever.
It's the same thing. He doesn't understand this. So if he didn't understand that, he'll never understand this. That's where I'm getting with that.
Right. Do you see at all the Blessed Mother around me?
Is this one of your guides? Have you been feeling her guides? Yeah. Her guidance, I should say. So. Yeah. Well, make sure when you work with her, that you open up all your heart with that one.
Excuse me. I am. I'm working with actually the Mother Mary Oracle, which I was given to at the beginning of this, and that's what I've been going through and learning through. And for me personally, it has been incredible. A lot of emotion. There's very things you're talking about coming up. I've been doing the last 3 years, and so I'm thinking, boy, we're coming even more now, I guess. I've been feeling these energies lately. So
it's definitely
the same thing, and it's all about love.
A lot of pink.
Shame.
That's what I was about to say. There's a lot of pink and green in your aura. A lot of pink and green and purple.
And that's all wonderful. That's all healing and love and spirituality. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me, and hopefully we'll get together after. A few
we
of us
will.
Last time, and
actually,
that was so much fun, and I want to make sure there's time for everybody else to get in here. But I'm enjoying that I've been guided to this particular, modality on talking.
Well, we love having you here, Celeste. Thank you, and we will be. You brought up a great point. I've been wanting to say it. I was just wondering when we're going to say it. We're going to meet in our video chat room after the show. So we'll go, if you're not in our group already, please jump into the group, send a request, we'll get you in so that you can join the video chat room and hang out with all of us. Kellee will jump in when she can. She actually has to have a meeting right after, so we're probably going to try to end the show on time. We've got 6 calls holding, so I do have to move on to the next one. Thank you very much for calling, Celeste, and we will see you shortly.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Take care.
All right. Goodbye. Thank you.
Got it. All right. So let's see here. I'm trying to get some callers that've never called in before.
Oh, that'd be great.
So let's go with area code 2.
Is there a woman named Barb? No, Mary Beth. Is there a Mary Beth or a Beth, something like that, that's on hold?
Not that I see at the moment, unless, but see, it shows up like caller.
It would have been an 818. Is there an 818?
No 818 number yet. No.
Right.
So if you're holding from 818, please let me know in the chat. I do not see you in the call queue.
Shirley asked me to make sure that I checked on that. She said, make sure if you get that chance. I said, okay. I forgot to tell you, John. So
no worries. Moving to area code 252. I believe this is North Carolina. Can we have your name, please, and where you're calling from? Area code 252. Are you there? If not, we'll come back to you. Oh, there you are.
Is that me?
Yes, I think so. 252-294.
Oh, yes. This was meant to be. I am so shocked.
Hi there. What's your name?
I am, because I'm Margaret. I was talking to you earlier about my meditation with Therapist Davis.
Oh,
hey, Margaret.
Hi, Margaret.
Master.
Oh, wow. No wonder Serapis Bay as the Ascended Master that would work with you. He specializes in energies. I mean, one of many things that he does, but wow. That's amazing. Well, Margaret, how can I help you?
Well, I just wanted to also say that same session with Therapist Bay, I really went to him because I've been feeling kind of out of sorts because I have a lot of guides and angels and masters that I work with, but I don't have one that I have like a really close relationship that I can call by name. And I felt kind of out of sorts about it, so I went to him about that. And
well,
he told me that, go ahead.
Who do you feel drawn to? That's really the question. What ascended master do you feel drawn to? Some people feel very drawn to Jesus. I work with Jesus, but I also work with Archangel Michael. I love all the ascended masters, actually. Buddha is one, but that's not my guy necessarily. But they're all amazing. Is there one in particular that your energy feels comfort with?
Well, yes. And there's certain ones. I have a team that I work with, especially when I do my Reiki sessions.
Okay.
I relate to Merlin really well.
I love Merlin. Yeah, Merlin was Saint Germain and in another lifetime, and Saint Germain is the violet flame.
Yeah.
We should do a show on the violet flame. That's a good one too.
Okay, I'll put that down too.
Merlin's great. He brings in a lot of magic, and he's terrific.
That's B Spirit Guide, and we share Merlin.
Really great. I love Merlin. But again, Saint Germain, I love Saint Germain. If you ever see, one day I was somewhere and this woman was wearing all purple. No, I mean, her whole aura was purple. I mean, this has happened to me a few times. I had to say something to her, and she said, "Well, I work with Saint Germain." I'll never forget that. She just flat out told me. I said, caught my attention.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else we can do to help you, Margaret?
Well, I just wanted to make this comment real quick. When I was talking to Therapist Day, my first grandbaby passed away a week before she was due, which when I connected to him, I was told that she came only to wake me up. That she was one of my main guides, like a guardian angel, which is so strange that I was told this because I wear a necklace. It's a guardian angel that to me represents my grandbaby that died, and I wear it all.
Yes, I have chills everywhere, Margaret. Yeah, That's accurate. I believe that's accurate because she's definitely around you. And
I,
she would often, what will happen, not often, but it does happen where a soul will, before they're born, they'll be, or they will be born and they would pass away. And it is sometimes to wake the soul up. And sometimes that's all that their soul needed. They didn't want to be here. They just came in. That's all the soul needed. And it would often be to wake somebody up, often to get them into a deep, they love you so much that they go into a deep place of spirituality. And when this happens, it goes through the whole family system. And I have chills everywhere. It just goes
Mm.
through the whole family system. Honey, you might want to have a session with Carrie too. You may consider that one. And I would work with, I know Celeste talked about the Mother Mary energy. I
Mhm.
would also encourage you to work with Mother Mary.
I love Mother Mary.
Yeah, I'd really encourage that. Thank you for sharing that. That's a deep one. Thank you for sharing that, okay?
Thanks for
Could,
calling in,
could I
Margaret.
give you my birthday?
Yeah,
Ah,
with that.
Thank you.
go ahead. Go ahead. What's the birthday?
Oh, it's February 4th, 1959.
Oh, yeah, February 4th is a more serious, you would have taken a deeper incarnation. That's a four of spades. That is, I mean, I'm sorry, an eight of spades. It means that you had the strength to endure a lot in this life. You came in with strength. So don't ever forget that. Get as grounded as you can with your strength, and your power of Reiki will it will be flooring actually, because you
Mm,
came in with power. Okay? Don't let anybody take your power.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for calling.
Thank you for calling in. You take care. All right, we
Thank
have
you.
several people waiting, and
Well,
we don't have enough time, unfortunately. That's one thing we are limited with. We have 56 minutes into the broadcast, Kel.
yes.
So I'm gonna have you pick random numbers for me. So we got let's see, 5 callers holding right now. So just give me 1 to 5.
Four, please.
Number 4. All right, we're going to area code 757. Can we have your name, please, and where you're calling from? And please go ahead and mute your listening device and listen directly through the phone. You are live on the air with us.
Okay, I'm in Carrollton, Virginia.
Oh,
It's Sharon Leon.
Okay, and Sharon, can you mute the backgrounds because we're hearing a delay? So
Sure.
just listen through your telephone, please.
Let me figure this.
There you go. I think. Up. Do we? Yeah, we
did
still have
she?
you on the phone. Yeah, she's still here.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Sharon, how can we help you? What's your birth date? You there? No?
Well, she may have muted her phone instead of muting the listening device, but she's still on the. Okay, just mute.
Okay, I'm here.
Yeah, just mute Facebook for us, and then speak through the
Okay.
phone. Okay.
Okay, let me yeah, let me mute you here.
Okay, and we'll come
me
back to
figure
you.
out.
Okay.
All right, go to number 5.
Yeah, here
please.
we go. So here we go. Area code 925. You're holding for us. Thank you for holding.
Hi.
Can we have your name, please, and where you're
Hi.
calling from?
Yeah. Hi, it's Anna, John, and Kelly, and I thank you for taking my call.
Hi, Anna.
Hi there.
And Kelly, thank you for your help with the video and the previous session. It was really helpful. And I have a couple questions for you really quickly. One is I was supposed to move to Oakland like a couple of years ago and been working on this house, and it just got postponed. So I'm living in Contra Costa County, and now other family members have moved into my house in Oakland temporarily. So I'm stuck where I was, where I am, and I'm not. And my question to you is, do you see me moving into this house in Montclair in Oakland or not? Because I have grappled with this for like years, and I'm not happy where I am currently, and I'm
Anna, what's your birth date?
not around nature.
Okay, what's your
Where
birth
I
date?
am right now, so I've just been stuck in the house, haven't seen anybody.
Anna, what's your birth date?
It's 10/10/64.
1010. I like that. 1010. 64. Okay. So you would be in your head a lot, Queen of Clubs. You actually have to be someplace where you can get grounded, where the energy can flow, because you've got a brain that has a brain inside of a brain, if you will. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of activity in your side of you'd get nervous about everything, actually.
Okay.
Anxiety. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything would bring that to you because you want to learn everything and you want to know everything. And it's okay if you make a
Yeah.
mistake, and it's okay. And what I'm really hearing is go ahead and move. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're gonna be fine any which
I don't
way.
know how to move during this time, and people are living in my house, so in the house, so I'm letting them stay there until I can move. I just don't know how to transition during the COVID time.
Oh,
It's
I'll tell you
really
what. Oh, let me just answer that. And this goes for everybody, actually. It's a great question. Don't do anything until after these eclipses. Just let it, I'll tell you what, honey.
okay.
Just know that in the next 4 to 6, 8 weeks, a lot of change. A lot of change. And guess what? Then you'll have a clear, lighted path, okay? You may not know right this
Wait
moment. And
a
sometimes
couple
that's good that you
months.
don't know. Just know that there'll be a change. There'll be a
Mhm.
change,
So
okay?
wait a couple months.
A
You're
couple
saying
of
I
months. Yeah,
don't know.
don't do anything right now. You don't want nobody wants to move during this time. No. Not
Okay.
with 4 planets
Okay.
retrograde,
All
a
right.
fifth one, and 3 eclipses. Let's see. Stay put. And a
She's
seatbelt.
Okay,
she's
hon.
she's
All right.
saying
Thank you for your help. I'm
You're welcome.
terminating with my therapist today after this, so I'm really
Oh,
upset about that. So
oh, I'm sorry
I'm gonna
that you're
try to.
doing that.
I
Well,
know.
find a
It's
good
really
therapist
weird.
then.
What?
Find a good therapist.
I have to.
Yeah.
Do you get any sense of the therapist I've been working with? Because my sense is it's not right. I don't know if
I
you have any.
I that I don't know, but I know that you have anxiety and I know that you'd be in your head, a lot. So this is what I would do. Go to that site, John. We have it, the Somatic
Yeah,
Experience
I
site.
saw that. That's
Yeah,
what.
and put your zip code in and you'll be amazed at some of the amazing therapists that are there that really can do amazing work. Okay, it's a
and
great
I
site.
Okay.
and if
Thank
you
you.
I,
Thanks, you guys.
yeah,
Take
Thank
care,
you.
sir, and
you,
thanks for everything.
you too, Anna. Yeah, I
Okay.
was gonna say
Okay. Bye.
she sounds
What?
like she would be one that would really benefit from having a healing session.
Probably, but not right this moment is what my thought is on that.
Yeah,
Probably, John, I would agree
yeah,
with that. I think she needs some somatic work first.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean,
Okay.
healing in regards to just the fact that she just seems very erratic. The energy is very
Hmm.
overwhelming for her right now.
Yeah.
So, what you were saying about the move is to yes, you should move, but wait until after the eclipse to do
Yeah.
so. I just want to
Yeah,
clarify
don't do
that.
anything for the next few weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, got it. So let's move on
I,
here.
I can do one more and that's it. And then I have to jump on to
Yeah,
this
let's make sure we
medium
can get
mentor.
if she worked this out with her phone. Area code 757.
Hello?
Yes, we've got you now, and it
Yeah,
sounds like you've muted in the background, so that's great. Go ahead and
I guess I have you.
yes, can we have your name,
Yes.
please, and your question and birth date, please?
Sharon Leon, 12/27/1951. And
Oh.
it's interesting you were speaking about children that have been coming to this world from another place. And I was told that my son had never lived on Earth before he came to me, and he came to me as a gift. And he's having a lot of issues during this situation that's going on right now. And I'm wondering if he's going to see the end of his problems and figure out what his
Well,
purpose is.
let me just say this about you. First of all, anybody who's born between the last week in the year is here for deep emotions, and you come in for your four hearts. They come in for family and emotion, and you're also, believe it or not, it's not surprising that your son would be a new soul here, and not all souls have been to this dimension. Um, but you may have been a newer soul as well. Interesting enough, especially during that time. What is his birth date?
4/18/80.
Oh, so yeah, 418. That is a three of diamonds, and that is a more difficult life path. And so it makes me know that he's actually an older soul. Older soul. It's not a new soul. That's an older soul that had power abuse in a previous lives, and when they're here, they have a lot they have to deal with. It if the one thing I can say is he must take a spiritual path. How old is he?
He's, I think, 40. 40.
Yeah, he must take a spiritual path. The only way that a three of diamonds ever, let's see, survives well is once they give up in that sense of um, taking on a spiritual role and really having faith.
Will Buddhism help him? That's what.
Yes, anything that is his truth, anything like that, anything. It could be Jesus, it could be spiritualism, it could be, or it could be Buddhism, it could be anything that he's drawn to, but it's got to be spiritual. He's got to find peace in his soul, and he's got to be. There's a lot of love and forgiveness that goes with that.
We've had a wonderful relationship this Christmas. It fell apart. Is there any hope that it will come back?
Oh my gosh, you wait. Of course he needs you. You represent really the mother love in every arena here. So, oh gosh, yes, of course he will. Absolutely. Let me tell you what, like I said, these next few weeks, he's going to need his mother. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for calling.
Thanks for calling, Sharon.
All right. So just to let you know, folks, these are mini readings. Kellee is, tapping in, but if you would want a longer session with Kel, she's available to do readings. When are you going to be open to do more sessions, Kel? Are you?
Well, people, you can always send me an email. The best way to reach me is Kellee@kelleewhite.com. Kellee. That's the best way to reach me. And then I'll just, look at my book, my magic book, and see when I'm in my office when I have the space. I mean, I tend to fill up fast, and so there you go. But I'm happy to do readings. I love to do readings. It's so much fun.
We have limited time on this broadcast to do the readings, so we just do little samples, and try to tap in and know a little bit about your destiny cards. Everyone has a destiny card assigned to their birth date, and hopefully this has been helpful for y'all. We have a lot of questions that came in. Please continue to post your questions. We'll continue doing these type of shows.
Yeah.
We also come up with topics from your input. So we have topics to consider for Ascended Masters, Crystal Children, maybe on the Violet Flame, and just look at different things that you're interested in. We're going to go ahead and meet in the group chat after this. So if you're not in our group already, I'm going to put the information on how to do that. Kel has got to run.
I do, so but I'm going to try to join on. I'm going to try. And then, John, tell them about our show on Monday.
Yeah, so on Monday, we're going to be talking about, how do I go into this? So we're talking about personality types, but especially ambiverts, introverts, and extroverts. And people are like, what is ambivert? Well, ambivert is a personality where you have extrovert tendencies, but more likely you're a introvert. So what that means is that you come out of your shell when you're around certain people that make you feel supported and protected and loved. Yeah. That's when the ambivert personality comes out, or you take on the ambivert personality for a role that you're assigned to. Like for me, I'm more of an introvert, but then I come across as an ambivert when I'm doing broadcast. Or
so true, John. But you are really an introvert.
I am a big time introvert.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, look, the camera. No, John.
No
it's
camera.
Me. I am not an introvert.
Yeah. But thanks everyone so much.
Thanks everybody.
KelleeWhite.com. And we'll see you on Monday. Also, if you can, join us in the chat room and take care. Be kind to one another. Be gentle with yourself. Lots of self-compassion. Lots of self-care during this time. It's the only way you can get through it.
Yes.
Take care, everybody. Love you.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now, featuring the unconventional duo Dr. Shirley and Kellee White. Two perspectives, one world.